There is a photograph taken in Las Vegas in 1997. At first glance, it looks like a celebration. Two men stand side by side at the Hot Rod Hall of Fame induction ceremony during Peterson Publishing's 50th anniversary event. Both are smiling. Both look proud. To the people in the room, it seemed like a passing of the torch. One man was already a legend. At 53 years old, Boyd Coddington was the undisputed king of the American hot rod. His cars had dominated magazine covers for more than a decade. His billet aluminum wheels had transformed an entire industry. His name carried enormous weight in custom car culture. Standing beside him was a 31-year-old designer named Chip Foose. That night, Foose became the youngest person ever inducted into the Hot Rod Hall of Fame. To many observers, he represented the future of custom car design. Together, the two men looked inseparable, master and apprentice, mentor and protege, the past and future of American hot rodding united on the same stage. What nobody in that room could have known was that this photograph captured the final peaceful moment of their relationship. Within weeks, Foose would be promoted to managing director of Boyd's company. Within months, that company would collapse into one of the most devastating bankruptcies the custom automotive industry had ever seen. $15 million in debt. Assets liquidated. Employees scattered. Friendships destroyed. And the two men smiling in that photograph would never truly speak to each other again. This is not really a story about cars. It is a story about ambition, loyalty, pride, and the painful moment when a student becomes greater than the teacher who helped create him. To understand how everything fell apart, you first have to understand the empire that Boyd Coddington built. In 1968, a young machinist from Idaho arrived in Southern California with a dream that many people considered outdated. The golden age of hot rods seemed to be fading. Muscle cars dominated the streets. The culture was changing. But Boyd Coddington didn't care what everyone else thought. By day, he worked as a machinist at Disneyland, helping manufacture parts for rides after the park closed each night. By every other available hour, he worked on cars. He poured his paycheck into steel, aluminum, chrome, and endless experimentation. The work was obsessive. The vision was relentless. And in 1977, he opened his own shop in Stanton, California, called Hot Rods by Boyd. What happened next would change the industry forever. Traditional hot rods had always been rough around the edges. They were rebellious machines assembled from junkyard parts and mechanical ingenuity. Boyd transformed them into something entirely different. His creations were elegant, smooth, sophisticated. He eliminated unnecessary hardware, refined every body line, and introduced a level of craftsmanship rarely seen in hot rodding. The style became known simply as the Boyd look. Customers loved it. Magazines couldn't get enough of it. Award judges were captivated by it. Over the years, Boyd's cars won America's Most Beautiful Roadster Award 7 times, a record that stood for decades and cemented his place among the greatest builders in automotive history. But trophies weren't what built the empire. Wheels did. Before Boyd Coddington, most custom wheels were cast metal. They were heavy, limited in design, and often lacked precision. Boyd saw an opportunity. Instead of casting wheels, he machined them from solid blocks of aluminum. Billet wheels. They were lighter, stronger, and visually stunning. At first, the idea seemed ridiculous. A single wheel could cost thousands of dollars during an era when many people paid less than that for an entire used car. Yet customers lined up to buy them. Soon, Boyd wheels became one of the most recognizable brands in the custom automotive world. By the late 1980s, Boyd Coddington was no longer simply a car builder. He was a celebrity, a brand, a symbol of success. And then, several hundred miles away in Santa Barbara, another story was quietly beginning. A young boy named Chip Foose spent countless hours in his father's garage learning the fundamentals of design and craftsmanship. His father, Sam Foose, owned a small company called Project Design. By age 7, Chip was already helping around the shop. He sanded panels, mixed paint, watched experienced craftsmen work. Most importantly, he drew. He drew constantly. Cars appeared in every notebook, on every spare sheet of paper, And in every moment his imagination had room to wander. The talent was obvious. Not good. Not promising. Extraordinary. By the time he reached adulthood, Chip could sketch vehicles from virtually any angle with astonishing speed and precision. His drawings looked less like concepts and more like finished products waiting to be built. In 1982, he enrolled at the prestigious Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, one of the world's most respected automotive design schools. Financial hardship forced him to leave before graduating. Many people would have given up. Foose didn't. He spent 4 years working, saving money, and doing whatever it took to return. Eventually, he completed his education and graduated in 1990. The future looked limitless. Major automotive companies wanted him. Ford was interested. Volkswagen's celebrated designer J. Mays recognized his talent. Detroit was calling. A successful corporate design career seemed inevitable. But while studying and working, Foose had developed a side project. He occasionally created sketches for a well-known hot rod builder named Boyd Coddington. At first, the work was informal. For years, Foose reportedly never even sent an invoice. He simply enjoyed contributing ideas to the man he admired. Then came a pivotal moment. When Foose informed Boyd that he intended to pursue opportunities with major automakers, Boyd made him an offer. Not just a job. A future. The offer exceeded what Ford and Volkswagen were willing to pay. Foose accepted. What followed would become one of the most influential partnerships in custom car history. Boyd had the reputation. Boyd had the business. Boyd had the customers and the resources. But Chip Foose possessed something equally valuable. Vision. The cars produced during the following years helped redefine modern hot rodding. Projects like the Boydster, Boydster II, and Smoothster weren't merely custom cars. They were rolling works of art. They established design trends that builders across America would spend years trying to imitate. Yet beneath the success, a subtle tension was quietly developing. The cars carried Boyd's name. The awards went to Boyd. The magazine covers featured Boyd. But inside the industry, people understood something important. Many of the ideas shaping those groundbreaking vehicles originated from Chip Foose's drawing board. The student was becoming impossible to ignore. And sometimes, that is when the real trouble begins. Because history has shown that mentors usually enjoy talented students. What they often struggle with is watching those students become their equals. And eventually, their replacements.